100 monsters in my school. There are 100 monsters in my school. There are 25 witches in my reading group. They can fly through any book they read. There are 25 ghosts in the lunchroom. They love eating cream cheese and jelly sandwiches. There are 25 vampires in my gym class. They can swing from the highest places. There are 25 werewolves in my music class. My ears hurt when they sing. Usually, I like school. I like to read books. I read slowly. I like to eat lunch. I eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I like gym class. I can walk on the balance beam. I like music. I sing very softly, but very high. But the worst day of school is the 100th day of school. All the monsters in my school love the 100th day of school. I do not. Our teacher, Mrs. Vampira, told us that we each have to bring in 100 things for show and tell. What should I bring in? 100 books? Too heavy. 100 thumbtacks? Too sharp. I want tomorrow to be spooktacular, Mrs. Vampira said. All the monsters in my class were excited. I was not. I do not want to go to school tomorrow, I told my mother at dinner. Why not? She asked. Are you sick? I shook my head no. I don't have anything to bring in for the 100th day of school, I said. My mom smiled. I'm not worried about you, Jane, she said. You will think of something. Just use your head. The next morning, I walked to school slowly. Wendy Witchman saw me in the schoolyard. She was dressed in all black, as usual. What did you bring in for the 100th day of school? She asked me. I did not answer her. Well, I brought in something very special, but I'm not telling you what it is. Wendy flashed me a smile and flew away. Sally Spookster was behind me in line. What did you bring in for the 100th day of school? She whispered. I felt a chill run down my spine. Sally was nice. She was very, very quiet, but she was nice. I did not know what to bring in, I told her. You will think of something, Jane, Sally told me. We walked inside the classroom. Welcome to the 100th day of school, Mrs. Vampira said. We will start our show and tell now. I slid down in my seat. I did not want Mrs. Vampira to call on me. I had nothing to show or tell. Victor Fangley, Mrs. Vampira said, why don't you go first? Victor stood up and smiled. All of his front teeth were missing, except for his 2 fangs. They were very sharp and very pointy. I have brought in my fang collection, Victor said with a smile. He held up a bunch of little bags. I have 10 cat fangs and 10 dog fangs, he began. I have 10 monkey fangs and 10 alligator fangs. I have 10 fangs from my grandma and 10 fangs from my grandpa. They don't need their fangs anymore. Everyone in the class laughed. I have 10 of my brother's baby fangs and 10 of my sister's baby fangs. I have 10 fangs that I found at the beach, and I have 10 fangs that I'm going to leave for the Fang Fairy. At my house, the Tooth Fairy comes, but I didn't want to say anything. That makes 100 fangs in all, Victor said. Thank you, Victor, Mrs. Vampira said. That was fantastic. Who will be next? I slid down further in my seat. pick me, Wally Wolfson called. Okay, Mrs. Vampira said. I will show you 100 of my best howls, Wally said. Ow, he howled. That's one. Ow, Wally howled even louder. I put my hands over my ears. It was a long way to 100 howls. Miss Vampira called on lots of other kids. Sally Spookster told 100 spooky stories. That took a long time. And I got scared 100 times. Bob Batty showed us his bat collection. He had 50 fruit bats, and he had 50 vampire bats. That was a lot of bats. I was glad they were in cages. Wendy Witchman brought in her cat collection. I have 20 cat stuffed animals, Wendy said. She put the toys in front of Miss Vampira's desk. I have 20 cat keychains. I have 20 cat t-shirts. I have 20 cat earrings. That is really 10 pairs of earrings. And I have 20 kitties. Wendy opened up a big case. 20 little kittens came out and looked at the class. Achoo! I sneezed. Meow, meow, cried the cats. I must have scared them. The cats ran all over the room. My things, Wendy cried, my 100 things. We raced around the room finding all of Wendy's 100 things. Finally, everything was found. Sorry, I told Wendy. I handed her back the last kitty. I tried not to sneeze. Wendy took the kitty from me, but she did not say a word. Just then the lunch bell rang. Okay, class, Mrs. Vampira said. We will finish our show and tell after lunch. Good. That would give me some time to think. I sat down at my lunch table, but I did not feel like eating. Don't worry, Jane, Sally whispered. You'll think of something to show. I put my head down on the table. Here, Sally said, these will make you feel better. She handed me 5 marshmallow ghosts and 5 marshmallow mice. Victor tried to cheer me up too. He gave me 5 bubblegum bats and 5 bubblegum owls. Soon, lots of kids at the lunch table had given me something. I had 5 gummy worms and 5 gummy bears. I had 5 licorice witches and 5 licorice brooms. I had 5 taffy pumpkins and 5 taffy apples. I had 5 cherry eyeballs and 5 cherry lips. I had 5 vanilla stars and 5 vanilla moons. I had 5 lemon goblins and 5 lemon skeletons. I had 5 strawberry spiders and 5 strawberry snakes. And I had 5 chocolate cats and 5 chocolate rats. I looked at all the things in front of me, all 100 things. Just then, Wendy walked over to the table. Yum, she said. Mind if I share? She reached down and popped 5 chocolate cats into her mouth. Now I was left with only 95. The bell rang. It was time to go back to class. Let's finish our show and tell, Miss Vampira said. Jane Brain, it is your turn. Oh no, what was I going to do? I stood up, but I tripped over my lunch bag and fell down. The class howled. My face turned red. Settle down, class, Miss Vampira said. Jane, are you okay? Yes, I said. Why don't you take a minute and get yourself together, Miss Vampira told me. Glenda Spector, why don't you go next? I picked up my lunch bag and peeked inside. My mom had packed me a good lunch. Too bad I didn't eat it. I had a tuna sandwich. I had an apple. I had 5 chocolate cookies. Wait, 5 cookies? I was ready for show and tell. Thanks to my friends, I have 100 treats for the 100th day of school, I told the class. 10 marshmallow treats, 10 bubblegum treats, 10 gummy treats, 10 licorice treats, 10 taffy treats, 10 cherry treats, 10 vanilla treats, 10 lemon treats, 10 strawberry treats, and 10 chocolate treats. I smiled at the class. And since there are 25 people in the class, we each get 4 treats, I said. Hooray, the class shouted. I can't wait to sink my teeth into them, Miss Vampira said. The 100th day of school didn't turn out so badly after all. The end. Good night, Sophie. Good night, Sammy.